Audio Jungle.
Good evening, this is BBC Three News. Youth crime has risen by 32% in the last year, which is due to hip hop. Me and my colleagues will be sitting down with a few guests finding out their views and opinions on this.
Niggas talking all the smack talk. They ain't about nothing. They ain't about nothing. You niggas talking all this trap talk. They ain't about nothing. Have you ever seen a bird, nigga? That's what I thought. I was on the curb, little nigga.
This is Michael. He's a producer. Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Michael. I'm a producer for young artists in Britain, for grime, for hip hop, and really the whole shebang, really.
Hello. As a producer, what do you think if music has influence, especially music like grime, hip hop, and trap?
Personally, from my point of view, I think hip hop, trap, and grime has really brought a lot of young children, or young people actually, together. If you see them in parties, if you see them in clubs, you know, they're all having fun, having a great time. They all know the words to these songs, and I think it's really, over the past 5 years, I would say, it's really brought a lot of young people and really expressed their talents.
But you know, these three things, their lyrical context mostly include drugs, crime, and money.
Been putting in the shift, now the drug squad know me.
What kind of influence do you think those three things have on young people?
I would say it has actually, some might say it has a negative effect, but from my point of view, I think you take the music as yourself. So if you're listening to a type of music that portrays that kind of attributes, you wouldn't really go around doing what they talk about. But however, if you have the kind of personality to go out there and really practice what they do, then it wouldn't be my advice to you personally as a producer of the music, because the content of the music is meant to be based on what they've gone through, their lifestyle.
My young G went to court for that smoky. Yeah. Back when I used to go and chill with my OG, used to push bricks and push by the OZ, so.
Which kind of brings the emotional side of the song, if you get what I'm trying to get at.
Do you feel upcoming artists have an effect with their words?
With the words, lyrics? I think, yeah, I do think they do have an effect. I mean, we have recent up and coming artists like, you know, we have Stormzy, we have got the recent one, Bunkers. He's really made like a big uprise about standing for yourself. I think it's having a very positive effect on the young people, and a lot of young people are now getting more involved in music and grime and trap than they were in the past 6 to 7 years.
Do you think hip hop carries a hatred for the police, and do you think this falls onto their listeners?
It's a little bit of both, but if you talk about hip hop, I think you have to specify on what type of songs carry. If you talk about NWA, that literally just expresses their hatred for police. As I said before, is they're expressing themselves, their emotional part, the emotional aspect of things, and I do think it has an effect on some listeners. But however, there hasn't really been any action taken against the police that you would say the police are at risk due to these songs.
So overall, you think that crime is not influenced by music or hip hop?
I wouldn't say totally no, but I would say a good 10% would be from music, would be from the all in the moment. Like if you have a song that you listen to, then you know that gets to you. Then I know I think sometimes, but not all the time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, this is BBC Free News. I'm just currently seated here with Amaka. We're going to be asking a few questions about hip hop and if it's influential on young people today. Good evening, Amaka.
Hello.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm fine. I'm here to ask you a few questions about hip hop and just find out your views on it. Now we know that you're a singer, so how long have you been singing and stuff?
I guess you could say from birth.
something like that. Well, not really. Like, I grew up in a musical household. Not as musical as some people think, but my mum sings, and so I kind of picked up on that.
From a young age, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I only just got comfortable with it, I would say, in the last year.
Okay, so like, do you listen to hip hop music in general, or like?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I quite like hip hop music. Even though I do listen to a lot of like soul and R&B, but the hip, like everyone says, the hip hop kind of turns you up, I guess.
It's true. Like, there's a specific genre I would like to talk to you about, which is like trap and like trap kind of music and just like influential music. So like,
Yes.
do you think like hip hop influences you personally, like as a person?
Yes and no. I'd like to think that I'm not really someone who is as, I guess, malleable, that music would just influence the way that I walk or the way that I talk. But
Okay.
I guess I have noticed that, when I listen to grime, or I shouldn't even call it grime, but the current version of grime, the kind of commercial and modernized grime, then the way I talk has changed a bit. And if I'm listening to fast music or fast hip hop music, then the way I walk will change, my mannerisms will change, and it will change to kind of to adapt to whatever I'm listening to. If I'm listening to R&B, then I guess I become a little bit more touchy-feely, but hip hop does affect me.
Do you think a specific type of hip hop, such as gangster, hood, trap music, influences gang crime or certain individuals acting aggressively?
Yes, I mean the way I said, it kind of links back to what I said before. When I said that when I'm listening to certain type of music, like hip hop or the current trap and grime genre, then the way I act changes. So it's the same thing for the youth of today. If that's all you're feeding yourself with, if you're always listening to songs about I guess trapping for money and girls and weed and doing all of this illegal stuff, then obviously at some point in time you say yes. If my role model who's out there on television and on the internet, and they're getting a lot of acknowledgement for talking about this and for doing this, then I should be able to do that as well. That's that's the kind of mindset that I guess youth of today will have.
Right. Now there's an up and coming generation which like stuff will get passed on to another generation and stuff. Do you think it will have like a big influence on the up and coming generation that are coming behind us?
One thing I would say is this: music never dies. So the same way our generation is affected by Michael Jackson, and some of us are affected by Ray Charles, and some of us are affected by Stevie Wonder. It's the same way people younger than us who are coming up, we're going to be affected by Stormzy, they'll be affected by Grizzy, and
the new people coming up.
And the other new people coming up.
Now police aren't, they're not the best fan of, I like to say, black people just in general, because we do have a lot of racist encounters. Not necessarily me, but of black people I know. Do you think like the lyrical content in music, is it against police? Like, do you think it's gonna portray police in a bad way, and black people, even white people, any kinds of people, like they will like stop liking police due to the way they act against us?
I think the police get the wrong end of the stick most of the time when it comes to music. It does portray them in a wrong way. I mean, when the lyrics of a very well known and very well loved song are "F the police," then everyone's gonna think "F the police." But obviously, because that's what's been said, so it does affect the police. It does affect the trust between communities and the police. It does affect the way the police look at the way we look at the police, and then that in turn affects the way the police look at us.
Now, as a musician, and we know you're a singer, like, do you have a specific message that you like to portray in your own music?
I guess it would just be I'm not really a negative person as such, so it would have to be a positivity, and and just talk about the daily happenings of life, not really in a negative sense of.
Yeah, but just to touch on that, like you said, that's like you talk of music in a positive way, but like these people have grown up in like not positive ways. They've grown up around violence, drugs, and stuff like. Yeah. What do you generally think of that, like? Because obviously you speak about positivity, and what they speak about. So
I'm not putting down any of their struggles in any way. No one. Okay, some people are born in the better versions, yes, but everyone has a certain struggle, and yes, their struggle may be worse than mine. But I've struggled, and a lot of people as well have struggled. And if other people can look upon that and draw the positives from that, then very well, every single person can do that, and yeah, I guess that's what I would say. Like,
Lastly, do you generally think that hip hop music is influential on young people today?
yes,
Yes.
yes, it's
Okay.
it is influential. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, I'm not gonna.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, like I said, if it can affect me with the way I walk and talk, then
Your mannerisms
the
and stuff,
mannerisms as well, then yeah, it's definitely influential.
Right, but thank you for your time.
It's alright.
Good afternoon, I'm Hobie, and I'm here to talk about the correlation between hip hop music and youth crime.
My name is Mr. Oladiti, and I'm happy that you've invited me to answer a few questions in relation to this today.
Okay. So the first question is, do you think hip hop influences youth crime?
There are two approaches in relation to that particular question. There is one side that argues that yes, music and the media does influence young people and crime, and the other side argues that it's for the individual to make a decision on a number of factors in relation to crime, and there are other factors that can influence the individual to commit crime.
So saying that, how does hip hop music affect youth in society?
It affects them both positively and negatively. There are different genres, different types of hip hop that you can listen to. You can either have commercial hip hop or very conscientious hip hop. So it depends on the type of genre the particular young person is listening to. It does influence, the media does influence young people. Hip hop is quite contemporary, so it's something close to young people as well. And the other thing in relation to hip hop is the fact that it's available through so many mediums now. It's available through Twitter, it's available through iTunes, and so many other music search engines.
So does social class have an impact on the type of music you listen to?
Some people would say yes, and some people would say no in relation to it. My personal opinion is that you can pick and choose what type of music you listen to, irrespective of class. However, there are certain stereotypes attached to certain groups in relation to the type of music they would listen to.
So to round it up, overall, what do you think about crime and youth? Do you think it's actually the hip hop music?
No, we can't narrow it down to saying that the sole reason or the sole cause of crime amongst youths is hip hop. No, there are a number of factors that need to be taken into consideration. I do take the point that some people would argue that there are images of violence portrayed through hip hop, and young people just automatically copy that and translate that into their own worlds and different groups and societies. But I would say that we can't blame youth crime on hip hop solely.
Alright, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Skin nigga with a fat belly. I'm selling cheese straight off the Blackberry. In the night I be chilling with a fly bitch. I was born broke but
Done a numerous amount of interviews.
Many people agree and disagree.
But hip hop is a way of allowing young people to express their feelings, and it's got a number of young people out of crime.
No time to write bars, the lines clockwork. I'm Marnie's off like it's my clothing line. Me and my nigga, my streets, he putting over.